It's Hammer Time, the only show in the world dedicated to the Pittsburgh Maulers on the United Football Media. I'm joined by Alex, my typical co-host. What's going on, man?
Hey, I'm doing great. How about you, Webb?
I'm excited because this
Me
is a
too.
big interview.
Big
Izayah
interview.
Green-May, the defensive end, linebacker, outside linebacker. What do you want to be called? The defensive end or outside or edge guy? Like,
Man,
I never know what to call you guys.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Football player.
Yes, sir.
All right. So we're gonna. Obviously, this is a Mauler show. How'd you get connected with the Pittsburgh Maulers? You came in late in the season.
Yep.
How did it go from the end of your college career to the ending up in Canton with the Maulers?
Yeah, definitely. In my college career, training for pro day, did pro day. I got a mini camp invite from the Giants. I also got another mini camp invite from the Saints. Went to the Giants first. Next weekend was the Saints. And then I think 2 weekends after that, I'm working out one day and I just got the call. My agent called me. He's like, hey, like the GM for the Maulers is about to call you. Like, be on your phone. I'm like, all right. So like I think about like 2 hours went by. Then coach called me. And then I think I was there. That was a Friday. And then I was there that Monday. So yeah, it just worked out like that.
That's awesome. And 10 days later, you're on the field, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Playing for the Maulers. What was it like joining the team mid-season? Because typically, you go through the training camps and spring practice and college ball, all that. What's it like joining a team middle of a playoff run?
Oh man, it was my first experience, so I can't compare it to anything. But got picked up week 8. We played the Gamblers that week. I got in for a couple of reps, so I was like, okay, like I got the flow. Late in the season like that, your practices aren't super high tempo, high intense. No, the tempo is there, but the intensity isn't like that, at the end of the season. So trying to keep guys healthy. So just got thrown into the game then. I knew a couple of my plays. I was like, okay, like I'm locked into these. As soon as they call these, like full speed, like I'm going, like I'm locked in. And so got comfortable that way. And then 10 days later, we played the Panthers. And then, that's when, I felt my flow was good. And, yeah, it was on. It was on.
One of the plays that you feel locked in was when you're covering the wheel route, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
That has to be it, right? That has to be the number one locked in play.
Absolutely. And it was crazy because, like, going into the game, like I was talking to my coach, Rick, and he was just like, Coach Courtwright, and he was just like, all right, like, you know these leads, like, you're going to be good. But before the game, it would be like, okay, if Green-May's in, we're going to have to, go here with these plays. So they called it, and Tez is looking at me, Tezino and Ruben are looking at me like, yo, like, you got to take the back. You got to take the back. And so, people are still learning my name and everything. They're like, yo, like, take the back. I'm just like, oh, they got to be talking to me. Like, I'm like, okay. So I'm go out, ran with them, covered it up. So it just worked out that way, man. Just locked in, adapting, adjusting. It was a good play for sure.
That's awesome.
Got to communicate, right?
Absolutely.
Like, who's this new guy? Cover the wheel.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, man. The guys took care of me. It was a good transition. I had a couple of my former Badger teammates on there with me, so helped me get the ropes that way. Knew a lot of good guys on that team, and so it was a great group of guys to step into for sure.
What was the culture like? Just jumping right in the middle of the season, like you got big personalities like Boogie and Beckner and Saban, like especially on the defensive line group. Like
Absolutely.
Talking to them all, like there are so many personalities on that line, man.
Oh yeah. It was I'm telling you, just a great situation for me. A great group of men to walk into and be a part of. And so the culture was, man, we went out to eat. The wheelbackers, we went out to eat every day. There's a D line, dinners every week, defensive dinners every week. And so, yeah, man, it was just the culture. We were tight knit. We were going through a slump at the beginning of the season. Right when I got there, it was just like, all right, like we need to lock in. And so, me, I get signed. I'm doing a little research. Watching some games. Like, okay, like all right, like this is what we need to do. And right when I walk in, like it was game on. Like everybody was locked in. Everybody knew what we had to do, and it was just one goal, and everybody was just handling their business.
What's it like sharing a locker room with a guy like Reuben Foster? You being a younger guy, and then you got Foster who's 7, 8 years older than you, and
Yeah.
you were a kid. He was in college.
Oh yeah,
So
definitely.
what was it like sharing a locker room with a guy like Reuben Foster?
Oh man, so the first day, I got my medical and everything done, and then I was coming to practice. I was getting dropped off at practice, and I go into the locker room. So first I walk into the field. Coach Jordan's like, "Man, go get some shorts, get a jersey, get a helmet, get out of here, hurry up." I'm like, all right, like where I go. So I'm figuring out my way to the locker room. First person I see is Ruben. He's like, "Oh, what's up, man? Like, you the new guy, right?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And then he's like, "All right, before you can make it, you gotta beat me." And he did like the ugliest pass set. And it was so funny. Like, it was just welcoming. You know what I mean? He was down to earth. He was like, "All right, yeah, man. Like, welcome, bro. Like, glad to have you." And so that was a good feeling, just meeting him. And so, yeah, man, he's a great leader, down to earth guy, great energy all the time. There's never a down moment with Ruben, man. He's the real dude.
Who's one guy on the Maulers that you clicked with right away? Not a Wisconsin Badger though. You can't choose any Badgers.
No, for sure. Man, I would say the Will backers for sure. It was easy to meet new guys. Everybody was welcoming. But definitely the whole Will backer group. Malcolm Howard, Vaughn Taylor, and Nasir players, man, those three guys, they made it easy on me. You know what I mean? And so just welcoming me and helping me out. And it wasn't so. It was so much like, there's three of us, so like you're gonna be out there, so you need to notice, and just helping me on the side and just picking everything up. So definitely a lot of credit to those guys, a lot of credit to that group.
That's awesome here because Howard was hurt. Obviously, you kind of came in to kind of replace him. You kind of filled that spot, and for him to be on the sideline and helping you with your transition, football is business, but he was right there the entire
Absolutely.
time. He's got his little wheel thing wheeling around everywhere. And
yeah, man, no, I'm a great guy, man. I think it, speaks volumes about his character and who he is as a person, outside of, sports. So Malcolm's definitely one of my closer guys.
That's awesome. Alex, you got anything for him on the Maulers?
You touched on a lot, but I mean, I think, Izayah, you came in at a time where it's kind of do or die. So, I think one of the things that gave us a lot of hope for, on one of the first shows was on the web, we got to experience it all with this team. I mean, if you look at sitting at 2-6, probably the best 2-6 team I've ever seen. We found ways to lose games. You come in, getting ready to finish off the season, make a playoff run. What was the locker room like going into, the Michigan game and then the New Jersey game and so on? Because it seems like we kind of hit our stride. And I think at the end of the year, we were one of the best teams in the league. Obviously, every bit as good as Birmingham, no question about that. But, walking into the locker room, how were things when you got there, and, the confidence level and whatnot?
Yeah, no, definitely. Like I said, I can't really compare it to, before I came. But everybody was locked in. Everybody was just handling their business. In my opinion, I don't think there was a huge, culture change. It was just like, we know we can do it. We just have to finish. We know we just have to finish. And so, coming in late, hearing Coach Horton talk about it, he would always say, like, I told you guys in the beginning, I told you guys at the beginning of the season, like if we can just finish, we're one of the better teams in this league. And he would always say, I'm just like, they ain't been saying it. This is all I'm seeing. So, something clicked, something's going on. I don't think there was a huge culture change. I don't think there was like, all right, like, you know what I mean? There wasn't nothing huge that changed everybody. It just started clicking. You know what I mean? And sometimes that's all it takes. You know what I mean? Yep. You really don't know what it is, but it just starts to work. And so
sometimes it starts to go your way a bit, and that was the thing too. We talked about earlier, you had games earlier in the season, we would control the game for the majority of the game. But I think it's funny this year as compared to last year, just watching the Maulers, at least from my perspective, you felt like every time out you had a chance to win. And you were actually disappointed when you didn't win. And to me, that's heading in the right direction is when you start to, at least for me as a fan, I'm not in the locker room, but, when you're expecting to win and you're actually disappointed when you lose. And I could see the shift in the team. It felt this year under Coach Horton. And we're excited about 2024. We're excited to have you too.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I can't wait.
Yep. So can we break the news here? You're confirming I don't know contract situations. We don't know all that. You're back for 2024, right?
I can't confirm anything. But
Okay.
that's the plan. That's the plan.
All right. All right, Isaiah, you ready to drop the hammer? A little bit non-football stuff?
Yes, sir. Let's do it.
All right. All right. So this is a Pittsburgh show. I've asked every player, I've asked every coach that we've ever interviewed. Mac Miller or Wiz Khalifa? Who are you taking?
Wiz Khalifa. And you know, it's in high school, I had the Wiz Khalifa blonde patch. I had it. That's crazy. So I had to go with absolutely.
You know what's crazy? All the players say Wiz, and then all of the coaches say Mac Miller, which is crazy because Mac's younger.
Right.
Like
it impacts different people different ways.
Yes, sir. We're doing a movie about your life. Who's starring Izayah Green-May? Who is it? Don't say Michael B. Jordan. Don't say because Savion Williams already took that one. Out of anyone on your team, Savion Williams is Michael B. Jordan. Come on, man.
Man, you know, when I was younger, I used to when my hair was wet, it used to just hang, and people used to tell me I look like Zero off Holes. So whoever that actor is, that's how I play me, because I think it's accurate representation.
Best football atmosphere, and you can't say Camp Randall, and you can't say anything on North. No home games. Best football atmosphere that you've played in.
All right, okay. I would say when we played Notre Dame at Soldier Field, and we were the away team. So, yeah, I would definitely say that. Definitely just being in that stadium. Definitely. Absolutely.
What's it like coming out of the tunnel at Camp Randall, honestly?
Oh, man. It's amazing. It's amazing. All the lights, you hear the crowd, as soon as you step out the locker room, the whole place is vibrating. It's amazing. The smoke and everything. Then the band, they make a long line for you. Bucky's running out in front. It's crazy. Camp Randall, man, versus one of your rivals like Minnesota, it's different. It's different.
How about jump around? Do you guys get excited when they play jump around? Does that give you goosebumps?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Every time. You can't recreate it. There's no recreating it anywhere else. It's its own feeling for sure.
If you weren't a football player and you can't be an athlete, what would Izayah Green-May be doing with his life?
Probably coaching. All right. Absolutely.
All right, Alex, give him his trivia test.
All right, here we go.
We're
gonna get him ready for Pittsburgh because hopefully we'll be playing in Pittsburgh next year. But Isaiah, what does yins mean?
Yins?
Yins. Y-N-Z. It's Pittsburgh E's, and it's going to be something you're going to want to learn if you move into the city next year. Yins.
I'm not sure. I don't want to say no BS.
Okay.
I'm learning.
That's a good answer
today.
It's a good answer. Now this is the kind of stuff you won't get at the University of Wisconsin. But here you go. It's you guys. Okay. So when you hear somebody in Pittsburgh say yins, it means are you guys going someplace? So are yins going here? Yins going out to eat. So that's what that one is. All right. Let me see if I can hit you with another one then. Let me get another. Are you a baseball fan at all?
No.
Okay. All right. This is going to be tough then, but you still might get it if you're a sports fan.
Okay.
How tall is the right field wall in PNC Park where the Pittsburgh Pirates play? I like the fact you're taking your time and thinking about it.
Is it in the hundreds?
That would be one big wall. No. All right, I'll give it to you. That was all right. Close. You're close. 21 feet high. Roberto Clemente was right fielder for the Pirates, and in his honor, PNC Park wall is 21 feet out. I'm telling you, you don't learn this stuff at the University of Wisconsin and Northern Illinois. This is life-changing stuff here, my man. Life-changing. All right, let me give you one more. I'll bring this one a little closer to home. The second tallest academic building in the world is on the University of Pittsburgh campus, home of the great Chris Blewett, who kicked at Pitt, and probably one of my all-time favorite Maulers. Hi, Chris. I hope you're listening. What's the name of that building on the University of Pittsburgh campus? Second tallest academic building in the world.
I have no idea.
That was tough. All these were tough, man. These are tough, right?
Yeah. Hey, these are tough. Okay, the wall. Now that's different. I had a wild guess.
You did okay.
Yeah.
Hey, the Cathedral of Learning. All right, now you got to ask me something about Northern Illinois, right? You got to put me on the spot then and see if I can pull one off. So I appreciate you having a little fun with that. We were trying to come up with some Pittsburgh trivia, and then next year when you're in the city and some guy wants to be a wise guy and says, "Hey, how tall is the wall at PNC Park in right field?" Use Roberto Clemente, man, 21 feet high for his number. So there you go.
Yeah, I got to definitely be on point in case somebody tried me for sure.
You'll be ready. You'll be ready now.
Yeah.
Going back to your college days,
Yeah,
what led you to Wisconsin?
So I wanted to commit early so that I can leave early. Like my whole plan was graduating high school early and enrolling early. When I got their offer, they were the defense that I wanted. The college experience was there. It was close to home. One state away, it's down the street. It's two and a half from my hometown, Bolingbrook. The visit was great. The visit was amazing. But I would say, while I was with the guys, like I already felt like I was on the team. Like, you know what I mean? I was like, they made the atmosphere like so comfortable from like, oh, like, yeah, you're like, all right, bro, like, when are you going to commit? Like what are you waiting for? You know what I mean? And so, all I really had to do was just, say like, yeah, I'm committed. And, nothing was really changing, based off how people were treating me. And so it was a great place. It was a great atmosphere. The guys in that locker room were great. And yeah.
Did you look at Illinois?
I did. They were going through the coaching change when I got my offer. I got that offer pretty early. I did look at them, but they didn't really have what I was looking for at the time. But I was already planning on Wisconsin.
And then great academic school. And then I think did you have an offer from UVA? You had an offer from Virginia as well, or we're looking at Virginia? Now, another great academic school. So I'm thinking you hit the books pretty hard.
Oh yeah, for sure. I just tried to handle my business. I wouldn't
opens up opportunity,
but I just tried to handle my business.
That's right. That's a good way to do it. Okay, so you're at Wisconsin. You finished your eligibility at Northern Illinois. Now, I think that well, first of all, let me tell you this. Getting ready for the interview, I'm watching some of your highlights at Northern Illinois, and I see you pick up a ball against Central Michigan, scoop it up effortlessly, and go sprinting down the field looking like a tailback and taking it to the house. Now, listen, when you scored, did you run over to the running backs coach and say, I need carries? I literally, you got to get me in the rotation. I need some carries. Did you do that?
That's a big tailback, man. That's a big tailback.
I whisper something to you like, I told you, coach, No, but shout out to DeMond Taylor for, popping the ball loose on that. And then CJ Brown, my man, 6 for blocking for me, for sure. And
6 to the house.
It was just open field, took it to the house. Can't get caught. That's all I was thinking. Can't get caught.
Well, you were separating from them. Like, that's the thing. You got an open field. Those guys weren't going to catch you. You could have turned around and give them a little pointer or Heisman pose. But,
right, yeah. But I'm not used to running from dudes, right? I'm trying to now, so I'm like, no, like, you know what I mean? So
that's a heck of a play. Hey, I got another question, a little bit more serious though. Playing in the MAC after coming from the Big Ten, and I love watching MAC football, a little MACtion. The Tuesday night games, the Wednesday night games are a lot of fun. I mean, if you're a football junkie and you can turn on football, on Tuesday night and watch the game, or watch a game, that's great. Did you get a chance to play in any of those weekday games?
Oh yeah, definitely. I think we had 2 or 3. Well, I know one was on a Thursday. I think another was on a Tuesday, like early on. Yeah, no, definitely MACtion, baby.
MACtion.
Yeah, no.
How hard is it to prepare for a Tuesday night game?
I think I adjusted well based off just how our schedule changed.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Coach Hammock, got us prepared well for him. So it was definitely different. But it was good. It was good. It was a fine adjustment.
So I guess Webb had asked you what the best atmosphere in the most intimidating atmosphere you ever played in was. In Soldier Field, Notre Dame. I think that's got to be a lot of fun. You don't have to answer this, but I'm just curious, who's the dirtiest team in the MAC?
Nah, I don't know if my 1 year could do it justice. But I don't think a whole team is dirty. I don't think a whole team is dirty.
Good answer.
Who's that? You know what I mean? But hey, the game's emotional, game's intense. But I don't think a team's dirty. I don't think they preach this. Go for his knee. Go for his head. Nah.
Well, that was a good answer, Isaiah. I can tell you the sports information directors at Wisconsin and at Northern Illinois, they taught you well. Nice job of deflecting a very direct question. But no, I appreciate that. And like I said, I enjoyed watching. I was telling Webb before the show, when we were going to be interviewing you, even before you were a Mauler, I can remember watching Northern Illinois games and seeing you stand out. And like, man, this guy's a freak. I mean, he's 6'6", he's an athlete. I mean, just tremendous talent. And so happy to have you. And you can tell by hopefully, 2024 you're with us, and to hear about the excitement, the guys, the way they welcomed you, the video that we saw on YouTube where they gave you the game ball, right? And all the guys. And I mean, you've only been there 2 weeks. So it looked like you were able to bond with the guys, and there's a really good culture there too. So you were fun to watch in college, and I'm sure we'll see you on the field 2024. We'll be yelling for you in black and gold.
Absolutely, man. I can't wait. I really appreciate you guys.
Thank you.
So we're at the end zone. We like to end our interview where you get to talk, promote anything you want, shout out any family, friends, a message to Mauler Nation, Wisconsin, Northern Illinois, whatever you want, Bolingbrook, whatever you want to do. The floor is yours.
Definitely, yeah. Shout out to all my alma maters, Bolingbrook. Shout out Coach Ivalo, man. Shout out Northern Illinois. Shout out Wisconsin. Shout out Coach Chris, Coach Hammock, Coach Moore. Appreciate all you guys. You guys gave me this opportunity to be here. Wouldn't be here without you guys. Let's go Maulers, baby.
Thank you, Isaiah. We look forward, if you're there in 2024, a couple more sacks and covering the wheel routes. All right.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right. This has been Hammer Time. Thank you.
Definitely appreciate you guys.
And we're back after interviewing Izayah Green-May. How'd it go, man? That was your first interview.
Yeah, it was great. He's a good interview. Super nice kid, nice guy. Really appreciated his stories. Could have gone longer.
Yeah. I love that he perfected the answer for the dirtiest MAC team.
Yeah. I plan on
he had it without even thinking.
Yeah. I'm going to use that one a few times, see if anybody takes the bait. He did. He handled up like a real pro. The SIDs, if the Wisconsin and NIU SIDs are watching, they're going to be like, trained him well.
Yeah. All right. So we got some news of the week. A couple guys signed. Xavier Dampier and Chris Okoye continuing the trend, the offensive line and defensive line coming back. We're still missing a few guys on the offensive line and a few on the defensive line. Obviously, Olive's in the NFL. What are your thoughts on roster construction so far?
Love to see it. I mean, if you look at the offensive line, center, guard, tackle. I went back and looked, building from the inside out. We've got some of those guys already locked up that were free agents. Same for the defensive lines. I mean, heck, if we had to go line up right now, we've got running back, receiver, and the core of an offensive line. We just need a few others. But in all seriousness, it is good to see building up front, and we talk about building inside out. So I think getting Xavier to sign and Chris, two big additions on both sides of the ball. Yeah,
I think the offensive line, obviously, we talked about it last week with the continuity. It's so important to bring all the guys back because they'll be able – obviously, we added during the season, so the line really didn't get the continuity. Now we just added Austin Myers. And bringing back the other guys like Dampier and Patton and Dietzen, I think just furthers the offensive line to be able to take it to the next level. And that's really when the offense started to click, was when the offensive line started to gel. Outside of the last game of the season, obviously the championship, the offensive line did pretty good the last 3-4 weeks, and were able to control the line of scrimmage. They were able to run the ball. Madre had a few good games. Troy wasn't our leading rusher, and I think I go back to that over and over again, that when Troy was the leading rusher, the offense, it was good, but I think it was better when you had a running back to compound it and Groshek and get those 3-4 yards. You didn't have to rely on Troy scrambling. So.
Well, those three up front, you mentioned 24 starts between the three of them, and we talk about continuity. That's key. So these signings, the free agent signings, keeping guys in-house, keeping guys with the Maulers, I'm thrilled to see. And again, it's on both sides of the ball. Up front. So really excited. Interesting too, that the sort of with Polian, the beat continues, the consistent flow of signings coming in. I'm going to be curious to see too, if he goes out and tries to make a splash or two.
Yeah. I'm curious how Polian is going to add to this roster, because you don't know who's coming back. The guys in the NFL, Mark Gilbert obviously got released yesterday.
Yeah.
Because he's injured. Does he come back? Does he come back to play another season? Is Polian and Horton going out there and trying to get Mark to come back? Tez, Olive, whatever happens with them, if they're available, do they come back?
Yeah.
I think Polian's got a chore to fill in the gaps a little bit. If they don't come back, find guys that are able to replace, the best corner in the league, the best linebacker in the league, and one of the best defensive tackles in the league. But taking guys that already know the system, like Chris Okoye, right? Defensive tackle, he's been there for 2.5 seasons or 1.5 seasons. He came from the Breakers. He's a big personality. He fits that big defensive line room. I think this all makes sense so far.
Yeah.
All of it just makes sense. So
yeah, absolutely.
But all right, man, we did another one. You made it through 3 episodes.
Yeah, we made it through 3 episodes, didn't we? Yeah, this is good. Pretty good. Made it through an interview. Have more interviews to come.
Yep.
Pretty exciting stuff.
Yep. Dinner with Webb and Alex, 5 p.m. on Wednesdays.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, Webb, can I just throw something in here really quickly too? Like, we work hard, right, to put a good show together that people can enjoy, right? And I was thinking a little bit about like what else the show can, do for our listeners and whatnot. And you think about how it could affect life, and you got a significant other, you got a wife, somebody you're really trying to impress, and you really want to pull out all the stops. Show them that you're thinking about them, right? Call in Permani's Brothers, have it delivered. Get a 6-pack Iron City, or if you're watching your weight, maybe Iron City Light. Wednesdays at 5, have the screen set up. Maybe you cast it to the big screen or something, really romantic. And just, have it all queued up. And then like when they come in, you can have it on in the background, and you can like us, you can, even let them subscribe. Like, if, while they're watching the show, say, come here, honey, here, look at this. You can subscribe, or, put a comment in the chat box down there. See if Webb or Alex will answer. But, showing them that you care, showing them that you really want them to have the latest on the Pittsburgh Maulers. This is the worldwide home. You can't get this kind of stuff anywhere else. And I mean, what a great way to show somebody you love them, right? Yeah. Wednesdays at 5.
I'm going to try it. I'm going to watch myself on the big screen TV.
It's perfect.
Yeah. Let's see.
Can't think of anything better.
My wife takes it.
And that's something too, put the comments. Listen, I'm guaranteeing you guys, especially, some of you younger guys, maybe them to impress somebody. Putting the comments out worked out for you. I'm guaranteeing you it will work. They'll be impressed. You'll see. I know those guys. Yeah, I have dinner with them every Wednesday at 5. Listen to these guys. Listen to the Mauler coverage, right? Just type it in there. I'm telling you, it's a lock. Trust me.
Dinner with Webb and Alex, 5 p.m. Wednesdays. United Football Media. We'll do this again next week.
Let's do it again next week.
Webb and Alex, hammer down, hammer out.